Happy Saturday and welcome to my channel. I'm Sisian, life coach, motivational speaker, and today we're going to speak about the matrix, right? That we're living in, the system within systems, okay, that we're living in at the moment. Okay, this place is all about energy and frequency and vibration, right? So my topic today is about frequency and vibration within the matrix system. Okay, so we have a system whereby there is high frequency or love unity frequency. It's divided into two, as I said. There's love unity frequency and is one of division and separation. Okay, so now every single person here in this place, in this on this earth now, on this earth school, is vibrating at a certain frequency, a certain ideology. So they're either at a love frequency or they are at a separation frequency. A lot of people at this time are also raising their frequencies, trying to get to unity or oneness frequency, unity consciousness. A lot of people are working towards that now because of the awakening, right? However, you must remember that there is still a large amount of people living in separation, in oneness, right? This is rooted in fear, control, lack, and separation. They're still feeling fearful. Remember that every single emotion that you embody, that you have within yourself, has a frequency, has a vibration, and that emotion consciously and unconsciously is contributing to the collective frequency of the earth, of the world, of the peoples that are here, of the souls. Okay, so now we are partaking in the conscious energy field, right? In the matrix system, we are partaking in it consciously or unconsciously. Most people don't even know what they are doing here, don't even know who they are, don't have a clueless ideas about frequency and energy. Like their emotions are so important. Your emotions come from your belief system, coming from your worldview, what you feel about the world, right? That's the emotions. Any topic, maybe money, maybe family, maybe work, maybe anything, your body, maybe food, every single concept here, right? You have an emotion about it, you have a feeling about it, you have a belief around it, right? So that contributes to the frequency, your own personal frequency and your vibration, your own personal energies, but it also contributes to the collective energy. Now, because we have these two poles that are here in this reality now, right? We have the high frequency, oneness consciousness, unity consciousness, and you have the separation, serving yourself energy, which is all about rooted in power of self. It's all about the self, rooted in control and fear and separation, and also magnified by your ego. If your ego based, that energy is magnified, right? It magnifies it as well. So a lot of people at that point, because a lot of people, a lot of souls on this earth are still based in the separation. They're still based in the ego mentality and mindset of this separation. You understand? All about the desire, what they want personally in their life. It's not about the goodness of the world, the goodness of people in general. It's about their own progress in life. And that is called separation. That is called the service to self. Okay, there's nothing wrong or right about serving yourself. But when you separate yourself from oneness and love, serving yourself is now a low frequency experience. Okay, because now you're feeding from the ego, you're operating from the ego. Okay, so today we're going to talk about these concepts, okay, and basically why we have the idea of the matrix and also the idea of the Illuminati corporations that are controlling certain areas of the world, and actually all areas of the world, maybe banking, maybe fame and fortune. So what we have a large pool of people that are all in the hustle mode, that will do anything for fame. Now, those people have now chosen to give up their own bodies and their own free will so they can able to have wealth and abundance. Okay, they speak about selling your soul, but that's not a true reflection because you cannot sell your soul, but you can give up your mind, you can give up your body as well to be used by these industries, by these corporations, by these families, by these peoples, all collectively known as Illuminati. Right now, I want to talk more about what is the Illuminati. Now, there's a lot of people that speak about Illuminati, right? So, what is Illuminati? It's quite an interesting concept because of the fact that Illuminati, coming from the word illuminated, of human consciousness. So it's people are supposed to have more awareness because they are woke. They are woke and they choose now to control other people, the collective people that are sleeping, they don't know who they are. When I say woke, they know about metaphysics. Most of them, they know about metaphysics. They know about spirituality. They know that there is no right and wrong. They know that we're in a game. They know that we're in the simulation. They know about everything is energy and frequency. And then the ordinary players, the sleeping ones that are working through desperation because they're feeling lack, don't know and are clueless about the fact that everything is energy. So the illuminated group of people hold the power, they hold the money power, right? They hold the money power, and because of that, they're able to control and manipulate people and gaslight people in the name of, if you hand over yourself, your body, your mind, your free will for fame and wealth, then you will get fame and you get wealth. Okay, so they normally operate in undercover, so, but also in plain sight. Undercover plain sight, it's not a hidden fact anymore. It's out there. So let's talk more about this Illuminati. When did it begin? Okay, apparently in 1970, no, not 1970, in 1776 actually, in Bulgaria, somebody by the name of Adam, I don't know how to pronounce his surname, but it's Adam spelled, surname is spelled Weishaupt. Sounds like it could be German or something like that, right? But this guy, Adam, contributed in creating a group called Illuminati, which is a secret society. Remember that everything that's secret, right? It means that it's hidden. There's some things that's hidden that I want the collective or the communities or people to know about their practices, right? So he now created this group called Illuminati at the time in 1776. Now imagine we're in 2025 and Illuminati is still a thing today because although it's a secretive, right, it's very spoken about. So people claim to know about it, but we don't really know it about what it really is. Okay, so now we have all this information coming out now, from last year, even year before 2023. There was a lot of people coming, people that are like whistleblowers that were part of Illuminati families, members that now want to come out and talk about it, right? So remember that what you see on the surface is not necessarily the true, the full story, because in the matrix game in life here where we are now, there's 80% truth that they will show you, and there's 20% distraction or just entertainment to confuse you more. So you need to try and understand, like, why now, why all these whistleblowers, why are people from families that belong to this group called Illuminatis, the wealthy, a group of people that are controlling, they are not like affected by time, space, or even governments and borders, because they operate above all that. Because the more power you have in the sense of that whole matrix control, the more you're able to operate over all countries. You're not limited by borders, cultures, even money, because you have all the money, right? So you're not limited by borders and cultures and governments, because you control governments. You need to understand that governments need money to control. And unfortunately, the most people that are sitting in governments, running governments, are low frequency beings, people that in the hustle. As I started my life, I said there's two frequencies running in the game now, right? I said to you, there's the high frequency, right, which is about unity. So the matrix is divided into two parts: the unity energy, one love consciousness, conscious of oneness, okay, rooted in source, based on compassion, being authentic, true to yourself, and serving all. It's about serving all, not only serving yourself. When I serve myself, I serve you. When I do things that are high frequency and I serve myself, my thoughts and my beliefs at a high frequency, I'm able to then also contribute to the collective by serving all, right, with love, right? it expands and awakens others as well. The more you speak the truth, the more you speak love, it also helps and expand and awaken others that are still sleeping in the matrix. Okay, now the part of power, which is the service to yourself. This is low frequency now. This is self power, not power for the all, not to help other people, it's only help myself. I will do anything I need to do to get where I want to go. I will even compromise my family members. I will do anything. I will sacrifice anything to get where I want to go. I will sacrifice my morals that I was taught. I will sacrifice myself. That's what I mean by that, by selling your soul. It's not necessarily selling your soul because you cannot sell your soul. You cannot sell your soul. Remember, you can only sell your body to be used in for the marketing. They can put your body there. They tell you what image you must portray, right? And what message you are going to be telling the masses with your music and your style. All those subtle things on our programming us. Right now we know it's hip now to go wearing short, skimpy dresses because now the latest craze is Tyler. Tyler's now the latest one that came through. Now she's a figurative of okay, you know what I mean? That slender, sexiness, woman moving their backside and all those things. They're making money out of her image. Like how they made money in the 80s with other artists, the image of Tony Braxton, yes, maybe Whitney Houston as well, because all these artists are controlled by the corporations, aka the Illuminati. As I told, Illuminati is consisting of families and corporations as well, and wealthy persons. Right? It's not like one thing. It's a a variable amount of different type of institutions, people as well. They are part of the Illuminati, as we call them, the unknown group that we all talk about. We don't not really sure who they are, right? But we know what they all about, right? Because it's out there. Okay. As I said, it started in 1776. Okay, a secret society. Historically, the Illuminati was a real society founded in 1776 in Bulgaria. Bulgaria, I think it's in Eastern Europe. I think if I'm not wrong. Hi, thank you for joining my live, Ryan Klassen and is it Vince or me? How are you guys? Hope you're doing well today. Today we're talking about we making a deep dive into this whole concept of Illuminati and energies and frequency and how they actually reap their energies, how they use artist symbolism as well to actually reap more energy. Remember that your focus is your content, right? You're giving consent, sorry. Your focus is that you're giving consent. Like now, you're on my live, you're focusing on what I'm saying, you're giving consent to hear what I'm saying. And whatever symbolism I use, right, to affect your subconscious mind, I'm not imposing it on you. You've already gave consent. That's how it goes with music industry as well. That's how people give away their own energies, their own individuality and their own consciousness by taking on what has been fed to them via music and entertainment industry as well, even sports as well, right? Because anything that's got to do with separatism, there has to be a winner in sports. There has to be somebody, only one winner, one team, one group. The rest of the people are not winners. You get my point? And we immerse yourself in that. That's also part of the whole control system of changing your mindset for you to understand that you must do anything to get fame and wealth, like calculators, cars, and flashy cars, be able to own private jets and travel the world. Now remember, now we have a big pool of people in the world that cannot afford these nice things, these luxuries of life. Okay, so when you grew up in a home that never had those niceties, those luxuries, most people who become famous actors and famous celebrities normally don't come from wealthy homes. They come from maybe working homes where, the average worker bee families, very few people that are famous become super famous and have great gifts. You get my point, to make money and to make money for those corporations, because you are making money for the corporations, right, by selling yourself as an item, a commodity. Now they're gonna tell you how to dress. They're gonna tell you where to go. They're gonna tell you who to marry. You can't just your life is not yours anymore. Once you have signed that contract to say you're giving your life over, right? And now they're not only reaching out to artists now. They're also reaching out to social media influencers as well, because people's attentions is commodity. Your attention is a commodity. Because once you zone in, you give consent to whatever symbolism to affect you, number one, and then also you're also possibly going to be a consumer, because if I'm an like for example, Kim Kardashian, right? Kim Kardashian and her family, the Kardashian family, Kardashian, I'm pronouncing it wrong right now to pronounce, but anyway, the Kim family, the K family, okay? They are huge money spinners for the corporations, right? They use them a lot to make money. So people now see what they are wearing and people want to buy what they are wearing. People see what they're eating and people want to buy what they're eating. So whenever a corporation with something new, a new product to sell to the masses, they go for famous people that are going to be seen, and people that are also kind of put on and on a certain platform and worship like their idols. You understand? You worship a person like they gods, like this person is not human like you. Now, this is what they've done with the Kardashian family, right? They made him seem like they're untouchable, and they are better than any other person on this earth. Corporations now use them to make money. We're talking about underwear. We're talking about clothes, we're talking about jewelry, we're talking about perfume, we're talking about makeup, we're talking about every single thing. How we even run our families. Or people are tuning into those into their content and consuming the content. Say, oh, that must be right because the Kardashian family is now doing these certain things. That's why they use famous people. You understand? This is how it goes. In each celebrity has his own level and his own, I would say, his own objective for the consumers. Each celebrity has his own objective given by the corporations that signed in the contract. Illuminati, they control them. You understand? So this concept, as I said, started in 1776. Sorry, I keep on saying 19. In 1776, by a guy called Adam. I won't even try and pronounce his surname. It sounds like it's German. It is a Wusthof or something like that. Weish Aupt. That's how you pronounce spell his surname. But his name is Adam. He was from Bulgaria in Europe, right? So and then he established a secret society founded in that year, okay? And the reasons for the finding of the society, number one was science, freedom of religion, or freedom from religion, because remember that by then Christianity was running the show, religion was running, and the controlling form was religion, was Christianity at the time, right? So people were not allowed to express themselves freely, anything that's outside the Christian teachings, right? So now this guy Adam was a free thinker. So he came up with this idea. He developed this group of people, right? We came together, illumination, meaning the humans that are free thinkers and free mind focused people that will not be controlled by the system, the matrix system. Okay, so that's where it all started in 1776. And I believe it was about a lot of these business people came together, and they were like how to improve their own businesses, how to also help communities as well, their own communities that they were actually operating in. Right? Remember that Illuminati, just like anything else, there'll be a positive side of it and there'll be a negative side of it. So I'm thinking that the intention initially was to uplift each other as business people, and also um, have a space for free thinkers to come together and come and communicate and help each other build their own businesses and also build their own communities by helping their communities, like building schools and stuff like that, and educating people, supporting the sports people in their communities, and supporting their artists. It all started like that, right? Now remember, now the same businesses are now today our corporations. Our corporations now span across all countries. Now there's more power. They become very international corporations. Right now, the more money you have, the more power you have. And if your consciousness is rooted in the lower frequencies, as I said, of power, self-power, rooted in control and fear and lack and separation, then you're going to operate like that. You understand? Remember that if your consciousness is rooted in the negative things, if you believe that life is a hustle, that life is a competition, if you believe that some people cannot have, and the one with more money have more control, and then the masses that don't have the money are going to be your slaves or your workers, then your whole ideology is rooted in that, in that lack of oneness, a separation, right? It's a manipulation, and then using people's desires to manipulate them, using their desires. Come and sign this contract. Join my group, right? Sign this contract. This is what you need to do. You give yourself over totally to me because you're now a commodity. I'm selling you. I'm using you as well to sell my products as my archetypal energies that I am now using to market my products. Like I make this lovely designer clothes, or I make lovely designer makeup, or whatever it is. I need you now to sell this product for me. And remember that in most cases, they don't only sign themselves to one company. It's a number of companies. Like what happened to, oh gosh, I just poked myself, sorry. What happened to, what's her name? Britney Spears. Britney Spears is very much spoken about how they've been controlling and stuff like that, right? And remember, she was a childhood actor, so they get you when you're small. They get you when you wanted the fame, when you are younger, before you develop a sense of self. They take you when you're young, because there is a saying that says that if you want to change the world, if you want to change a controller, the world, or control a person, right, get them when they're still very young, and then now you can indoctrinate them. Now remember that there are families that will actually sacrifice their own family, own children, for wealth and lots of money. You understand? Wealth and fame. And that's what happened with Britney Spears, okay? And there's so many other artists that have been compromised in that sense, okay? So now we the ordinary people, we the so-called consumers, the worker bees, we buy the products, we will listen to the entertainment. We now feeding that energy. Now remember, within us as well, within the consumers, the worker bees, the ones that are not celebrities, there is frequency flow there as well. Now, as I said, the world is divided into two energies: high frequency of oneness, compassion, and unity, right? And truth and being your authentic self. And then there's the other energies, which is about self-power, separatism, control and fear, separation, lack. Now, if you look at the world, logically, if you look at it, look at the world as it is now, a lot of people are more prone or more aligned to the separatism. They're more aligned to the self-serving, fear, control group. You understand? So now, when we give our powers now to these entertainment industries, these artists that are being used by the so-called Illuminati, okay, they use symbolism. They, you see the eye and those and the pyramid and all those things, all the symbolisms and the colors, and yeah, even the dance moves as well that they do on the videos. Now you will then buy into that, because you're giving consent. You are willingly giving consent by watching those videos, and then also meshing and aligning your own consciousness to that. So what are you doing now? You're giving that artist power. That artist being used to pull your energy in, and now your energy is used now to ground and make that person famous, but also keep you in a separate type of duality type of lifestyle. You understand? Where you stop believing that the only way for me to be successful is to take from others. The only way for me to be successful is to hurt somebody else. And we're seeing that in the sports. The sports can be so violent, and yet there are people that are cheering and supporting these sports that are very violent, like the American soccer, right? Or is it American soccer? Yes, right. That sport is very, very aggressive and very violent, right? Now remember that sports is focused on one being a winner. There has to be a winner and must be a loser. So what is it? They're the separatism. It's not oneness. Right? Only one can win, only one can be successful, only one can flourish and be able to have all the money in the world and to live their high life. What about the others? Now remember I said that most people are living in separation, in duality, living in the hustle, living in the lack, because they have lack mentality, because of the fact they don't have the material things. So we look at the world and we look, okay, I don't have a car, I don't have a house, I don't have a job, I don't have money, right? So you're living in the lack, and that's the consciousness that you have. So you always, how would I say, you become an easy target for somebody who has money to come to you and say, what are you willing to do to get the money? What are you willing to do to get the money? Okay, aka the concept of selling your soul. When they say, what are you willing to do to get that money? How much are you willing to give for you to get what you want? Okay, then people say, okay, I will do anything. I will do anything you tell me to do, as long as I get that car, as long as I get that house, as long as I get the contract with you and I become famous. I will do anything. This is where the problem comes in, right? And that's where the Illuminati story comes in, guys. We are not victims of the system. We have bought into the system. The concept of Illuminati can only exist as long as we're feeding it, as long as there are people with low frequency living away from abundance, living away from having enough, living away from love. There's a lot of people who are separate from love. You understand? Remember that low frequency means that you fall from love. It means that you separated yourself from divine source. You've immersed yourself to lack. You immerse yourself to lack because of the fact that when you remove yourself from love, peace, and understanding, when you remove yourself from feeling abundance and you buy into your reality that you see now by face value, you're looking at your life but in effect of where you are living at this moment, and you're buying into that reality. Okay, remember that there is consciousness within you. You are creating your world with your own perceptions. Okay, if you are feeling lack, right, you will be creating lack. You understand? When you are feeling lack within yourself and feeling separation, you shall create it. And the more you feel it and believe in separation and lack, the more you create it. That's how it works, right? So they know that people are clueless about energy and frequency. They know that people are clueless that everything is energy, that your belief systems create your whole world, that your whole worldview creates your whole world. They are enlightened. That's why they call it enlightened. They know more than what the ordinary person knows. People are not in their level. You understand? Because of the fact that they get given a lot of information. They can afford it. You know how expensive it is to get the books, the spiritual books that are hidden, that are so-called are not out there. You can hardly find them. You have to go to special libraries or special auctions to buy those books that can teach you about energy, about metaphysical things. Now we have a lot of it online. So people don't want to take advantage of what's online, because previously, prior to now, prior to, like, say, for example, the last 15 years or maybe the last 20 years, there was not such information. There was not such information. Now with the expansion of consciousness, now there's more information. All those books that are now being hidden before are now out or brought out, and they're not now being kind of censored anymore. You understand? Because they were very censored before. They call them conspiracies. Now conspiracies, okay, well, it's a conspiracy, so what? They're not even allowed. They allow it on social media. Before it wasn't like that. I remember in when I was still living in Johannesburg, I think it was in the early 90s, right? A lot of the social media content that you see now was not allowed on social media because they said it was conspiracies. You understand? Now you see everything is on social media because it's expanding. The matrix is expanding. It's allowing people to get access to more information, right? But now this information is zoning into you getting to understand that thyself, to know thyself. Okay, it's not for entertainment. All right, it's for you to understand who you are. Go and look at the Kabbalah, information about Kabbalah, metaphysical stuff, esoteric stuff. Go and listen to all that type of content, because it's not only entertainment, it's information that can uplift you. Because all I'm talking about now is out there. It's nothing new. The matrix, or this reality called the matrix, is basically divided into two energies: high frequency, that's love and oneness consciousness, rooted in source instead of separations. It's rooted in compassion. It's rooted in the truth, authentic truth, and service to all. Right? To love yourself. That's what Jesus was trying to teach people, to serve others as well. That whole concept of him washing the feet is about serving others willingly. Right? Remember that your success is dependent on other people's success. Other people's success is dependent on yours. So why do you want to be the only one that's been successful, the only one that's owning luxury cars? Why do you want to keep the world separated when it comes to resources, when resources are plentiful for every single person? Right? So they zone into those people that are also living in separation in their minds. Those people that still feel controlled. They still feel weak, and they still feel fearful, and they will do anything to get fame. Right? Now, unfortunately, they get you when you're young. And if your parents are also zoned into lack and separatism and don't have love, they will sell you to them so they can make money. They will sell your skill, your ability, like what happened to Britney Spears. You understand? This is what really happens. And that other guy that was molested by P. Diddy and others as well. You see, these are things you need to understand, that these people had gifts, and their gifts are supposed to make a way for them according to the Bible. However, they were now manipulated and gaslighted by people who pretended to be wanting the best for them, yet the people wanted to use them as commodities. You understand? That's what happens here in this reality. So what is the lesson learned here? Number one, watch your frequency. Watch your frequency. Watch where you are putting your energy and your focus. As I said, where you focus, your energy flows. Okay, where you are focusing, your energy flows. So as somebody who's not part of the celebrity group of people, just an ordinary person, you still have power. Your power is in your energy, it's in your frequency. That energy you give away to those artists. Those artists controlled by the Illuminati with dark intentions. The question is, what is your intention? And why are you meshing your intentions with artists that are being operated or controlled by dark entities, right? This is nothing about religion, nothing about good or bad. This is about will it serve you in the long run or not? Basically, this is my channel. It's not a religious channel. I speak about spirituality. Everything's energy. Everything is frequency. Okay, you understand? So when you see those artists getting more wealthy and more wealthy, I always ask myself, what more has she or he had to give up? Because of the fact that you had to give up your whole yourself, your identity. You're no longer belonging to yourself. You now belong to this corporation, right? These corporations, because there's a lot of companies that come together, right, and all invest in you, okay, and invest in your ability. And if your ability is that you're sexy, skinny, and looking beautiful, and they're going to use you to market their beauty products, they're going to use you to market their brands. What you get out of it is a lot of money, yes, a lot of how would I say, a lot of influence, yes, because people are going to think that you're this big time celebrity, going to get all this money. And guys, what I'm talking about is what we are witnessing currently. We've been witnessing it for a very long time. These artists, right, some of them are willingly done into this thing. They knew what they're getting themselves into. Others were not, because they were children when they became famous, like Michael Jackson for one. He was a child when he became famous. You understand? His whole childhood was taken away from him. So was Britney Spears and many others. You know what I mean? There's many others, actors, musicians, performers, who actually gave their innocence away, so they're able to even able to make money. I mean, and this type of thing, this animal called the Illuminati, it goes broader than just entertainment. It's also in our religions. In our religion, Christianity, there are um, aspects of their control by the system. Because remember that everything is about commercialization now. Everything's about money. The mega churches is about selling um, people's attention for the money, because people also giving their money to the church as well, you understand. So it's a broader aspect, not just only corporations but also our churches. But our churches and mega churches, Christian churches, are also businesses. They're corporations, you understand. They're registered businesses. That's why they get so big and wealthy and a lot of money, and they're getting money from the country congregation, and then they invest that money and they invest in certain commodities, stock exchange and all those things. They are doing that, right? So now remember, you are following a pastor thinking that he's leading you to righteousness, yet he's just using your energies and your attention, because your focus and your energy is flowing right to in his congregation, in his church, and then he uses that now to make more money. And then you're also contributing with your money because of the fact that they take people's tenths, the tenth of your salary as well, right, to contribute. So remember that everything's energy, because money is not that important. Your energy is so important. It's more than that money, because your energy never gets exhausted, right? The money is man-made. You are have prime energy. Your focus, where you focus, your energy flows. Your energy is prime. Your energy is very important. So this is an energetic game, right? Money is just a bartering system that we use to get what we want. But at the end of the day, like what they showed us in the Matrix film, the first one, it came in 1999. Remember, they had Morpheus and other people. They were hooked up to the Matrix system, and they were taking their energy and feeding from them, basically. Now that's like a graphic presentation of what's really happening, right? So you must remember, as I said, there's two type of energies here, and it's reality. There's high frequency, God focus, source focus, based on love, based on unity. And then we have the other energy, which is lower frequency energy, based on fear, control, lack, and separatism. They push the agenda of lack. Because remember that the more one person becomes more wealthy, or one family or a few families become more wealthy than the 99% people of the world, the more you push the energy of scarcity to the rest of the people, which is 99% of the people will have that frequency of lack. You understand? That's why they millionaires not made every single day or every single month, because they control the flow of money. They control how many people get to their level. That's how it happens. People think that any person can just become wealthy and rich and become a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. You can work towards a business, you have no interference, you're very good at your business. As you're getting more wealthy and more successful, now you're pulling the attention. Now they're thinking there's another player in the game. Let's see how far this person can get. Okay. Now you're playing, you are now developing. Right. Now remember that it could take you 2 lifetimes, not only in your lifetime. Now maybe your children will continue that business as well and keep on growing. But sometimes you can be fortunate enough for you to strike gold really and become successful and prosperous and have a lot of money in one lifetime. That happens too as well. People can become a billionaire. Like for example, what we're witnessing now, there's some billionaires here in Africa. Dan Corte in Nigeria is a billionaire, right? That kind of thing. And they have a lot of millionaires in West Africa, right? But not a lot of billionaires. But in the southern parts of Africa, we don't see much of that. We see very few millionaires and billionaires, right? That kind of thing. But the system is controlled because they want to keep most of the people at the bottom level, because your energies are being used, right? Your energy is being used with what you are buying, what you are focusing on. Remember, as I said, that your focus is where your energy flows. Where what you focus on, your energy will flow. For example, you are a consumer, right? What type of foods are you buying? Right? What are you investing your money on? What type of products are you using? in your house? Are they environmentally friendly, or are they detrimental to the environment? All those little things count. You understand, when it comes to where your energies are flowing as well. Okay, what are you consuming? What is your belief? What are you speaking? What are you preaching to others? Are you preaching lack, or you speak is preaching abundance? Are you being helpful or not? That's part of your frequency, you understand? But majority of people are living in lack because that's the only thing they experience. Now a lot of people are living unconsciously. So we either living here in the matrix consciously or unconsciously, right? So remember, the Illuminati energies are actually lower frequencies. The Illuminati energies are lower frequencies disguised. They come, you know what I mean? Just because everything shines, just because something shines like gold and glitters like gold, it doesn't mean it's gold. You get my point? That's where that concept comes from. Don't be tempted by the devil. Don't be tempted by material things. Understand who you are first. Understand what you want in life, and understand what are you willing to compromise and sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice your morality? Are you willing to sacrifice your happiness and peace at the long term? Do you want to be owned by corporations in exchange for your body and your consciousness? They're going to use it very well, especially if you are famous, right? Remember that there's different levels of it. Okay, there's people that are recording artists. They record music, they make music, right? They sell some music here and there, right? They have some a little bit of success, okay? And then there are those that can then spark up like overnight, like with Tyler from South Africa. She just sparked up like that, but she started in South Africa as a normal recording artist. She did some gigs here in our country. She performed there. She did very well locally, okay? And then one song, Water, sparked her success and skyrocketed her. And then now she got the attention from the guys on the other end. There's nobody at her level who has not been approached by the corporations, Illuminati, to sign over herself. There's nobody. I mean, even Lauren Hill left the entertainment industry because she couldn't stand the control. She couldn't stand the control. When I'm thinking of Lauren Hill and how her success unfolded, how it unfolded. I'm looking at now people like Tyler. You get my point? Because guys, we are the observers, right? We are the observers. We must be observed very well and understand how the system works. Remember that the matrix is there's nothing to be afraid of. This life is not about fear. The system's not about fear, but you need to know what's going on and use your logicalness, use your logical mind, and use your subconscious mind, use your higher self, use everything that God has given you, and think clearly. When you listen to a music and listen to those vibes and the dances, why do you think that Tyler's music blew up like that in one day, in 1 year? Is it one release of Water? Why do you think? Listen to the lyrics in the song. It's a very sexualized song. Now remember, that's a great tool to control the masses, right? It's a great tool to control the masses. Hi guys, thank you for joining my live. I'm Sissy, life coach and motivational speaker. Today we're talking about the Illuminati, energies, frequency, and vibration, and how these things go together, how they play in the game of life in the matrix. Okay, remember, as I said, the matrix is defined as system within systems, right? We're living in a system, right? In a holographic illusional type of experience, like a dream state. Okay, we are living in the system whereby there's systems that actually add to the system itself. Okay, I spoke about systems like education, health, politics, entertainment, and sport. Everything, money, finance, money sort of top layer, because money controls everything here, right? Money controls everything here. That's the top layer, right? Now, for you to get all these other things, able to afford to go to school, to afford clothes, to afford everything, you need money. You need that energy, right? And for you to get money, the ordinary people are told to get a job. Okay, you get this job, you get employed, you get the money, but you must still pay taxes to the government, which is part of the others, which is the political system. You must pay taxes to the government. You understand? The governments are financed by the corporations, right? So you can also include the Illuminati into governments and corporations, persons and institutions as well, if you think about it that way. Now, this information that I'm giving you guys, not to scare you, but to let you know that you need to understand how the system works, yeah, for you to live consciously when you're making a decision. When you see people saying things like that person sold their soul. What do they mean by that? Number one, you cannot sell your soul. You sell your body and your intention, your consciousness, yourself, your identity. You no longer just Britney Spears, okay? Number one, I'm not sure if that's a real name. Okay, Michael Jackson's real name was Michael Jackson, right? But a lot of the artists have pseudonyms like Madonna, like just Madonna. That's not a real name, you understand? So that's how it works. You understand? And this game has been going on and on and on and on forever. It has been going on. This is not a new thing. Even in Madonna, she's used a commodity, right? But now she's now old, and now they have used as much as they can use from her, and now she has a issue with herself. She has a fractured self because they use some programming on that lady. For you to get that level of success, they have to control you. It's mass controlling, and they will use anything to control you, even if it's mind control. You understand? You must need to understand that as well. Even the masses are being mind controlled as well. Even if you're not even a celebrity, you are mind controlled, because each time you are opening something on social media or go on mass media and you now see an advert and you say, oh, that looks nice. So mind control, maybe you have a problem with weight, you have a problem with your self-esteem, with your self-image. If you go online now on social media, on YouTube, there's adverts about how to lose weight, how to lose your body fat, and other corporations and different systems of marketing their products to help you lose that body and that fat and that weight that you want to lose. And how they look at your contents, how much you spend time in certain content. What you get up with, they get to understand who you are. That's all done by the corporations, right? And now, as I said, it's layers upon layers, systems within systems, and the internet is a system on its own, right? But remember, these systems can also be used for good things, because I said that we have high frequency, which is the unity, oneness consciousness, right? The love, the compassion, being authentic and being true to yourself, and the service to all type of. You can use the internet for that. You can even use corporations, but depending on who's running that corporation, right? Remember, not all corporations are equal, right? But we did agree that the Illuminati is a combination of corporations, people, families, institutions as well, that actually contribute to this whole concept of control. And that when I have control, I have all the money, I have all the resources, I can control you. You are just a mere consumer. You need to understand that you're not just a mere consumer, you are a creator. You are a sovereign being, a creator. You're not just a consumer. You might be consuming, but you are a creator. You are a creator with a consciousness, and you have divine energy within yourself. You have sovereignty, which you have not claimed. You need to claim your sovereignty. Although you are a consumer, you are buying, but you are also a sovereign being, right? You decide what you're gonna consume. You're gonna decide on where you're gonna put your focus and where you allow your energy to flow. Okay, very important to know that, right? So it's always about empowerment. So you get the information. It might sound scary, and you might sound that there's no control, but you have control. Every single one of us on this earth have control of what we focusing on where we are putting our energy. Are we buying into the separation, or are we buying into unity and love? Are we buying into lack, or are we buying into abundance? What are we focusing on? What are we owning? I believe in abundance. I don't believe in lack. I'm owning abundance. I believe in oneness. I don't believe in separation. I believe in enlightenment. I believe in compassion and joy. Right? I believe that it's plentiful for every single person. I don't need to sell myself to get what I want. I don't need to compete with every single person, because every single person has your own success. There's plentiful of success for every single person, right? I don't need to go and kill somebody to get what I want. I don't need to sacrifice my family members to be wealthy. Why must I do that when it's plentiful for every single person. This is a plane of abundance, right? Remember that. Remember, everything is your perception. But however, if you want to believe in scarcity, if you believe that you can only be successful by sacrificing yourself and sacrificing your freedom and sacrificing people that you love for money, whatever they tell you to do the sacrifice and you do it. Do this and you do it because you're chasing the buck. You can't have enough. You don't believe in your own skill and ability. You don't believe that you are well. And I'm thinking that these people make the artists feel as if they're useless without them. They make the artists feel as if they're useless without them because they can even damage you. You understand? Like what they did with Michael Jackson. They spread a big rumor that he molested children and all those things. You understand? That's how it works. It's same like what they did with P. Diddy, but then he was so much involved in it. There was too much evidence. He was really guilty of the things he did, right? But look at how it came out, right? Only one case was really he was charged for only one case with so many different things that they thrown at him. You know what I mean? The reason why he was there in jail, right? But he chose the wrong part. He chose the low frequency. He chose that part and felt that that's where he could get his abundance and wealth. And it worked for a while, for a long time, 30 years of having success, being a successful celebrity, having all the resources. But remember, it always comes to an end. You either burn out or else you feel that now you're above the system, you want to challenge them, you want to take him to court like what he did, taking the liquor brand to court, one of his partners and stuff like that. Get I'm trying to you now you're fighting the beast. You're fighting the beast that's created you, that's opened a door for you to get in. Now you're fighting the beast, you understand? That's how he ended up the way he ended up, you understand? They just kind of pull his whole image under the into the mud, into the mud. They destroyed his image, and even if he comes out now, right? Because they gave him, I think they gave him bail, or they still think you're giving him bail, whatever. He comes out now, how he's gonna live his life? Will things be the same? Will he have the same level of success? You see, they cut him down. And he's even lucky because they could have killed him if that's not one of the things they want to do. You understand? So you understand the machine is a huge machine. It's not just one corporation, not just one family, it's not just one person, it's many people and many corporations, many families. It goes across the board. I'm talking about all sectors, banking, entertainment, religion, right? Illuminati is right through. Basically, education is there. They control everything. Remember, same as the high frequency, it's also controlling everything. There's high frequency people in finance, in religion, in education, in governments. There's high frequency people there as well. Because I told you, where there is low frequency, there has to be high frequency, right? But you tune your focus on where you're gonna feed your energies. What are you going to be using? Are you gonna join the club that's low frequency, or are you going to join the club that is of love, high consciousness, unity consciousness? You understand? Watch the music that you are consuming. Listen to the lyrics. I like to Google and understand what is that person saying. I don't want to get lost in the beats. I want to know what the words are, because I might just be buying into something I don't understand. It's very important to you to understand the music that you're consuming. Understand the movies that you're even watching. What are you more prone to watch? What do you prefer to watch? You get my point? The artists that you're following, the people that you idolize, your idols. Try and understand who they are. Maybe you will not really know fully who they are because you're so far from them, but then use your intuition. Use your intuition. If this person has a lot of negative news and information that's attached to them, they're always in some sorts of a scandal, like a negative dark scandal about maybe raping, abuse, and stuff like that. You need to understand what you are buying yourself into, what you are focusing in, who's your celebrity. You understand? And sometimes it can be very difficult, but don't immerse your life to celebrities. Learn to live your own life. This is your own game. They are only entertainment. The person that you favor so much, the person that you admire, may be a sports person, right? A famous soccer player, or whatever, even a famous musician. Remember that person is not you. That person's not living in your life. That person's not playing your game. Focus on your own game of life. Focusing on building up your own happiness, your own success, and don't immerse yourself in somebody else's life that you have no part in. That's the thing about being having celebrities that you follow, people that you idolize. I learned to idolize yourself. You are the most important person in your life. You are the most important figure in your game. You are the center of your stage. That person's the center of their own stage. Yes, you like that person's entertainment, you like that person's music. It doesn't mean you need to immerse yourself to the person. You like how that person plays soccer, right? Don't immerse yourself into that person. Live your own life and build your own life and focus on yourself. You see, I am speaking the truth. Thank you so much, babes. I am speaking the truth. People need to focus on themselves. But make yourself a celebrity. You are your own celebrity. Love yourself and even build an altar for yourself. And this is my life. I love myself so much. I'm very, very important. High frequency people, meaning when I'm talking about high frequency people, baby, I'm talking about people that are joyful, people that are loving, people that are kind, people that are full of gratitude, people that when I speak to you, you feel that energy that these people are very high vibrational people. You can feel that energy. If you're not aware about energy, you can feel somebody's energy, right? You need to tune yourself like, why am I feeling a certain way? Sometimes you walk into a room, right? And there's a room full of people. You walk in and then you feel kind of funny. You just feel like you feel uncomfortable within yourself. Not that means that energy in that room is not high frequency. It's not good energy. You're feeling uncomfortable within yourself already, right? You're feeling uncomfortable even being there. If somebody comes to you and say, hi, sweetie, how are you doing? And a person starts talking to you, tune into the person's frequency. As soon as you focus on that person, you're tuning into their frequency. Like at this moment, right? You're tuning into me now, right? You can feel my energy by my words, my vibration, how I'm speaking. That's me. It's my energy that's coming through to you. You understand? That's what I'm talking about. It's subtle, but you need to be somebody very aware of energy and yeah, feeling, in other words. Energy is feeling, love. To make it more simple for you, Fana, energy is feeling. How you feel as energy. It's because you are energy, right? And everybody else is energy. Food is energy. Like, for example, if you eat junk food, too much pizzas, too much processed foods, how do you feel the next day? That gives you a feeling that that food's energy is not good for you. Even while you're eating it, also when you're eating it, people don't pay attention of their feelings when they eat something. How does your stomach feel afterwards? How does your mouth feel when you eat something? Recently, I didn't have my almond milk in the office, right? So I kind of put a little bit of the cow milk in. I was making my matcha in the morning, and I just hated that feeling in my mouth. It felt like I can't explain it, but it's just terrible in my mouth. And then I said, I can't drink this thing because it's not in my frequency. Because it's not what, number one, it's not what I believe in. I don't believe in that we should be drinking animal milk, cow milk, because those cows go through a lot of pain, right? Imagine if you have to be artificially inseminated to have a baby, even when you don't want to have a baby. You know, the cows they forced to be pregnant so they can make milk, right? Cows, female cows, right? Calves as they call them, yeah. They don't just have milk 24/7. Where do you think your milk is coming from? Coming from those cows, and they manipulate those cows. They feed them steroids and everything for them to have that milk. I believe that, and I understand it's the truth that's really going on. That's why I don't want to drink that milk. And when I tried to drink it, I said, let me just one time, because I'll bring my almond milk later in the afternoon. But I couldn't drink it. I ended up giving it away because of the fact that it doesn't resonate with me anymore. It doesn't go with my frequency anymore. You understand? A lot of people are lactose in intolerance, right? But they drink it anyway because I don't know, or they don't pay attention to how they feel when they drink the milk. They lately feel, I've been getting a bit of diarrhea now. It's normal. It's not normal to get diarrhea. It's not normal for your stomach to cramp because you drank too much cow milk. It's not normal. People don't pay attention to their feelings, to their bodies. You understand? So I'm trying to say that everything is a feeling, right? So I hope that answered your question when you asked high frequency people, what do you mean? People that are joyful, people that are positive, people that are not People optimistic, they're not pessimists. People that you can trust, you can walk into the room and say, that person, I like the person's energy, I can trust that person with myself. That's what I mean by high frequency people. People, when they speak positivity. You never see them complaining and criticizing the other people. That's not who they are. That's high frequency. When I say high frequency people, I hope that answered your question, Lovey. Okay, name a call from and edits. I'm not sure about that. Scope also question. I'm not really sure what your question is, but what I'm telling you guys is this, right? Remember that there's two types of energies in this world. Low frequency, which is separation from oneness, separation from God, separation from peace. You understand? And then there's a high frequency, which is about oneness, unity, peace, love, to serve others, right? When I serve myself, I serve others. When I serve others, I serve myself. When I serve you guys, I serve myself. Now, people that don't believe in that or now believe in separatism, they don't believe in oneness, right? They're rooted in control. For them to be successful, they need to control their success, they need to control their life and control other people's lives. They use fear tactics to control and manipulate other people, like what P. Diddy did. Right? That's low frequency. Clearly, all the things that he did was all low frequency, and he belonged to a fraternity. He belonged to Illuminati. That's how he got that power. Because there's no person who could have the type of power if they haven't signed and doesn't belong to a fraternity. You understand? Now remember that Illuminati is not just one group, it's a number of different groups. As I said, there's different corporations, different persons, different families, different institutions. So it's not just one. We had this idea, Illuminati, I think it's one big thing. No, it's a number of different things, like different groups, like some of them call them Masons, Rosicrucian, and all those other stuff. You get my point? There's a whole lot of them. Now, you as an ordinary person, as a consumer, stop just being a consumer. Be a conscious creator, because you are giving your power away to things that you don't even understand. Do research on the brands you're using. If you love something so much and you spend a lot of money on it, and you say you cannot live without it, do research on the brands that you're using. Do research on the musician that you're idol, that you're following. Do research on even the sports, the soccer. Soccer is a huge money spender, huge, controlled by corporations. So indirectly, we're also feeding these Illuminati corporations and families and institutions. We're feeding it with our energy, not with only our focus, but also our money. Our money, we are putting our monies into those things. Understand what you are supporting. I've heard this before, man. I first heard it a few years ago. I didn't understand what it means. Now I do understand, because everything's energy. Where you are focusing, where you are spending your money, you actually making your energy flow there. You are consenting to what that organization is doing and what that organization stands for. You understand? You're consenting to it. Be very careful, right? This game of Matrix game is very interesting, right? Remember that you are a creator. And if you are a creator, it doesn't mean you're not a consumer, because we need to buy things. Interesting topic, ma'am. Sometimes we just feel things, but we have limited knowledge. Yes, I understand that. We don't know why we feel the way we feel. This is really informative. Yes, you need to actually understand yourself better. That's why a lot of spiritual teachers will tell you one thing. If you want to raise your frequency, meditation means that I'm sitting quiet, I'm zoning with myself, zoning within myself, I'm slowing down my mind, right? My mind, my conscious mind, I'm slowing down my mind of doing it. I'm now focusing on myself and my body. If more people can meditate, it'll help them so much. Meditation, guys, is a wonderful experience of you getting to know yourself better. It's a wonderful experience of switching that pause button for those 10 minutes or even 15 minutes. Just put the pause button and meditate. And deep breathing, guys, breathing, that's another big secret, right? Which is not such a big secret anymore. Is your breathing. Your breath is very important. Your breathing, when you breathe in and out, you're connecting yourself to a higher consciousness. You're connecting your body and your mind to a high consciousness. Now, people that are just consumers, living like, you know what I mean, living just going with the flow, living unconsciously, right? They don't know how to take a step back because they're always in a hustle. They're always, I need to be at work. I need to do all my problems. You're always thinking about your problems. When you're meditating, you're putting your problems one side. Just giving yourself a break from overthinking about your life experience. Your problems will not go away if you still think about them. At least give yourself a break. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your problems will be there when you come back. Now you'll have clarity on how to solve them, how to focus on them. King, thank you. How are you, sweetie pie? We're talking about the matrix energies and frequencies here, and I'm using variable types of examples in life in general, right? As creators, you and I, we need to be more conscious of what we're focusing on, what we are investing our time on. Oh, Fanny, thanks for you know, sometimes we can't afford certain interactions, traveling and meeting people, make avoidance isolating. Yeah, that's true. How can we behave? How can we behave to live in harmony with everyone? Oh, firstly, you gotta live in harmony with yourself, Fanny. Before you live in harmony with everyone else, you need to live in harmony with yourself. That I'm saying. As I was talking about meditating, you can only live in harmony when you know thyself, when you have time with thyself, when you press that pause button, do some journaling, and understand why you think the way you think, right? Why your life is the way it is, why you're making these decisions every day. Try and take a pause, you take a step back once a day, twice a day, once in the morning to start your day. Now, intention's key, Fanny. Intention is key for you to live in harmony. Intention is key. Excuse me. You need to intend to live in harmony. As I said, daily practice in the morning to start your day, intention. Okay. Spirits, I'm thankful for this day. Thank you. I'm now arrived. I'm in my body. I'm awake. I'm ready to start this day. Please stop thinking about your problems first thing in the morning. Don't go and open your phone, look at or look at your laptop, look at your the project, your deadline. No, you are more important than that work, because if you drop dead today, that work will be given to somebody else. That position will be given to somebody else, because people are born every single day. People are going to university. People are getting skilled, right? You need to put yourself first in your game of life. You are the most important person to yourself, not your job, because your job can be given to somebody else. So people living in the grind, in the hustle, forget that you need to have time for yourself first thing in the morning, Fanny. For you to have intention to live in harmony, you got to live in harmony with yourself first. Don't be afraid to have quiet time and focus on your mind. What are your core thoughts about life? Then journal. 5 minutes or 10 minutes of deep reading and meditation, guys. There's a plethora of meditation videos online, even music, if you like them guided, if you like them not guided, if you want a 5 minutes, even a 2 minute meditation, stay. There's no excuse. All you need to say, stop, okay, today I'm going to focus on myself. Spirit, thank you for this day. I'm here now. Gratitude. I don't care what happened yesterday. Leave yesterday. Leave it at yesterday. Each day is a new start for a new program for your life. So you're going to start with that meditation, that gratitude. What is your intention now, Fanny? What am I intending today? Harmony. Okay, this is my focus today. My focus is harmony. I choose harmony. Even tell yourself I choose harmony in my life today, right? And I'm choosing to be harmonious with every single person. You cannot have harmony with other people if you don't have harmony within yourself. I'll repeat, you cannot have harmony with other people and in life if you don't have harmony with yourself. Living in harmony within yourself, accepting yourself. I am who I am. I'm not perfect, but I can try my best to be my best. Okay, yesterday is yesterday. Today is a new day. Today I'm putting an intention to do my best. Today I'm putting my intention to think positively about my life. Today I'm putting an intention to love and embrace myself in my life. Don't complain. And as soon as you finish that quiet time in the morning. Don't do the opposite. Don't go and work against all the things that you said to yourself, the affirmations and the meditation and the journaling. My intention today is harmony, right? I am focusing on being a harmonious person. Meaning I'm going to be more friendly. If you break down the meaning of harmony, it means unity. It means friendliness. It means oneness. It means flow. So I'm going to flow. I'm living in harmony. I'm going to flow with life, right? And you see your colleagues or you see somebody driving on the road and you irritated by him driving too slow or crossing the road, whatever they're doing, you irritated. Remember harmony. You intended harmony. Criticizing people and being angry on the road is not harmonious. So you have to consciously see these ideas and then act upon them right through the day. Give my a morning practice is not just words. You are putting an intention for the day. So follow that intention. Your intention was harmony with everyone, right? But first with myself. I need to love myself and embrace myself because I am the one that's creating all things, right? I am the thing that's creating my life experience, right? That's how it works, lovey. As simple as that, right? Right through the day, remind yourself I wanted harmony. It means I need to be a harmonious person, more friendly. I walk into the office, hi every single person. How are you guys? Happy Monday. Have a good day. Start your day smiling. I think you play some harmonious music as well to help your frequency, keep you in harmonious spirits, right? That's how it works. Even the food that you eat, let me try eating something more healthy, something more harmonious. See that word harmonious, funny, you can spread it across your whole life experience because your whole life experience needs to be affected by your harmony. That's how you can become harmonious and with every single person and have harmony with the world, with everyone. By you, as I said, it's a practice, so you have to live it. The food you're eating, is it over processed? Did any animal die for this food? Guys, why have we accepted death so freely and open with open hearts and use our religion to justify why we're killing animals? Why we are treating earth like this, putting pollution everywhere, throwing see people driving on the highway, they're throwing papers and things out the car window. Instead of taking the stuff you drank your cool drink, keep it in your car. You're not being harmonious with the universe when you're throwing things out like that. You're not being harmonious. You see what I'm trying to say? Funny. That word harmony goes across everything we do as human beings. We cannot have harmony if we don't behave in a harmonious way. If we don't embrace every single being, an animal. A chicken doesn't need to die and be a chicken in your plate, guys. That chicken never give its consent. I was even talking to my mom about it the other day. You like your ribs. Did that animal say, yeah, take my ribs? Did it consent on it? You took that animal. You terrorized that animal. You put it under torture, right? Because animals see other animals getting killed and tortured, obviously they're going to be afraid. Oh my God. The frequency is so low frequency if you think about it that way. Look at the abattoir when they're killing animals. Do you think animals can't see the other animals getting killed? It's like you and your friends all going in the same place, right? Now you see, you hear them, the ones in front screaming and crying, and now your turn next. How do you feel? That energy of fear stays in the cells of that meat, and people go and make braai with it, they eat it. Oh gosh, human consciousness, as I said, there's a high frequency of harmony and unity, and there's low frequency here, guys. What you put in your mouth is important. What you say is important. What are you buying is important. Everything that you do is important. But let's start with the small things that are still manageable, what we can control. What you put in your mouth is important. You can control what you put in your mouth. The food that you invest in your money in. Remember those that corporations selling you the food are part of the Illuminati, basically. You understand? Because I said it's corporations crossing all borders. Borders don't restrict corporations. Borders don't restrict corporations, right? For example, you can buy products from anywhere now these days. You get my point? Because it's across borders. The Illuminati, the low frequency controlling group of people, are betting on you being unconscious that You can just eat an animal. No, it means nothing. Who the Bible said Christians must eat because Christians or people have authority over animals. That's what they use against you. They use your belief against you. They use your culture and your belief against you. That's how they have control. People speak about Illuminati attacking people, Illuminati, this, that. You, as a consumer, as a person, every single day, you're contributing to the same group of people, giving them more power. You're not doing research on what you're investing your time and your money in. Even the church you go to, how do you know that your church doesn't belong to the Illuminati group? For example, in Africa, in Southern Africa, wherever it is, because they have different sects, the different groups all over the world. Because what I do know is West Africa is different, North Africa is different. You go to the Arab world, is different as well. Each America has their own group, right? That kind of thing. So that's how it goes, guys. We are messily and usually controlled, but we are failing to control ourselves. When you learn to control yourself, you control your game. When you learn to control your consciousness, right, and claim your power, we will be able to change the world. Because if we can change ourselves in the micro level, in the macro level, it will change. If you're all thinking like victims and thinking it's outside of us, thinking that Illuminati is outside of us, we have no control. No, we actually we are all contributing. We're watching the movies and we paying money and we learning and we investing ourselves in those things that they are showing us. You understand? Like, for example, a simple concept now, go now, right, up to the maintain type of way I'm thinking, right? A simple concept is, for example, as soon as Tyler came in from South Africa, the water music song came famous and she got that award and she became a high level celebrity, right? She signed a contract, guys, and that contract means that she belongs to the corporation. Whatever those corporations tell her to do, she's gonna do. That image that she's portraying, that ever sexy, half naked image, she has to maintain until they finish, until they made enough money from that image that she portrays. Same with Whitney Houston. Same story. Now, remember that Whitney Houston's image was very clean, family orientated. But Whitney Houston had the tendencies of being bisexual. She had a relationship, allegedly, right? According to the information online, she had a relationship allegedly that she had a kind of a relationship with a lady, right, who's actually a lesbian, and they're very close. That even Bobby Brown didn't like the relationship. I think these people have handlers, right? Not to say that he was a handler, but nothing happens by chance. You understand? But her image was spotless clean. If you remember Whitney Houston's image was spotless clean until she became an addict. Now, normally the addiction comes into play when the artist is demanding too much from the corporation, demanding autonomy, demanding to be let go, demanding to buy their music rights. Then you see now there'll be an addiction, yet there'll be an abuse. That person is now a person likes to sleep with children, all those things. But all the time it was hidden. Look at R. Kelly, same story, guys. R. Kelly, the same story. For many years, he was an artist. We had no idea that what was happening on the down low about the young girls and all those things that was happening. Look at Bill Cosby, same story. Bill Cosby was a huge brand, big name in the 80s. He made the corporations lots and lots of money. As soon as something went wrong, as soon as the corporations now were not happy because he was demanding too much, they set you straight, they bring it out. They bring the dirt out that you rape so many women in the 80s, and they even bring them old people, cases that happened, things that happened 30 years ago, all come out now 30 years later. The guy was 80 something years old when they put him in prison. They don't care because they took enough from him and he knows too much anyway. So when you know too much, you get silenced as well. So you must be very careful. This reality is controlled, massively controlled. So where you put your money and your energy and your focus is important, right? So remember that this broadcast is to awaken you people, to awaken the sleeping people. We are being controlled. The question is, are you going to be allowing yourself to be subconsciously controlled without you being the owner of your life? or not. The matrix is a very controlled system because it is a system within systems. There's systems that are controlling the people here, right? If you have an addiction, your drug controls you, right? If you have an addiction with alcohol, your alcohol controls you, substance controls you, right? If you have an addiction with sex, what is going to control you? Your addiction with sex is pornography or sex, whatever it is. If you have a fetish of being a pedophile and wanting to sleep with children, that will control you because that's your weakness. Okay, so that's what they do is that they look for weaknesses in their artists, and then they make those record those videos to keep that information. The day you come up and you say that I'm now wanting my music rights, I want this, I want that. No longer want to belong to you. I don't want to belong to you anymore. I want my freedom. You signed the contract of 100 years, now you want your freedom. You signed the contract and you gave blood. Some people even gave sacrifice. They gave their cousins, whatever. Right? That kind of thing. Because there's allegedly there are that have given their cousins and their family members to be wealthy, allegedly, right? All this is all alleged, right? I don't want to be sued, right? But I'm trying to tell you all is this. We are in a system that's controlled, and the system has systems within systems. So you have to be strong and aware of where you put in your energy, what you believe in, what are you going to choose. You have to choose between a high frequency matrix, which is about unity, and one is a compassion, love, abundance, being authentic, being real to yourself, and serving others and serving yourself. When I'm saying serving others, serve your family with love. Serve your community with love. When you're being a kind, loving person, you are automatically serving the world with love and kindness, okay? Or else, if you want the power part, which is a low frequency, it's all about serving your self-power, right? It's about separation. It's about the ego, feeding the ego. What do you want to feed? Your ego, or you want to feed your soul? Remember that the ego is only part of this construct. It's only part of this fake illusion, okay? Because oneness is the truth. We're all connected because we're all energy. Now imagine there's a pool of energy. It's like you trying to separate the sea. If you take a cup of the sea water and you put it in a cup, right, it's still the sea, right? Same with energy. Same thing. We're all connected. We're all connected, right? So what you do to others, you must be very careful because they'll come back to you because we all related. We have these laws in this reality. Now, the illuminated people understand Kabbalah. They understand esoteric stuff. What do you understand as a person? Only what your Christian pastor taught you, that you are a sinner. What do you understand about life? That you were just born, if you're an atheist, that you understand you are nothing, you come from nothing, you just came here. They know more than you. Equip yourself with knowledge and understanding and then integrate it into your life and act upon it. They know that everything is energy, okay? They know the greatest law of the universe that we are breaking amazingly well here is hurting others, including animals. Animals are still sentient beings. There's still others. Just because you don't eat human meat, it doesn't mean that you're not killing if you're eating animal. The animal is just as important as humans. Human beings are also animals in a high level frequency animals, right? Because we have choice. Those cats and dogs and cows and sheep and chickens don't have choice to raise themselves out of being a chicken. You are a chicken, you are born a chicken. When you're a human being, right, you can raise your frequency high and your awareness high and live in high frequency. And when you live in high frequency, the more peace you have, the more oneness you have with yourself. Now, if you're feeding your body with death, which is meat, you're dropping your frequency. So people now sitting in the solar plexus. My self-esteem is all about me. And they feel living there with pain because they ate pain. Now you're wondering why my life is not going right. You ate so much pain that you cannot live above that pain. A whole lot of sense. Thank you. That makes sense. My pleasure, Fanny. Hi, are you South African? Yes, I'm South African, Lavi from Durban, from the Durban side. Where are you from, Jade Solomon? Fanny, I know you from South Africa. Yeah. But I don't know where Jade is. I'm South African, Lavi. You can hear my accents, yeah. I'm from Durban. You just joined, right, my life. I'm talking about frequency in the matrix, Illuminati, okay? I said Illuminati is nothing to be afraid of. It's a group of people, ordinary people like us, We have a heart and a soul who have chosen to live in separation, right? They use people that take away their freedoms, okay? And remember that Illuminati is a group of many institutions, families, and persons, not just one group, it's many groups as well. And each group, for example, each area has your own type of coven, you may call it. In witchcraft, we call it covens, groups. They come together to do what they need to do. Covens, that's what they call them, right? So they come together because they have the power, they have the money, they have the influence, and they control the world and the people within the world because they have the resources. They own the commodities. They manufacture commodities. They in industries. They in finance. They in banking. Yes, they in the medical field. They in the health field. They everywhere. They everywhere. They in the religious faith industry as well, because it's also an industry. Because like remember that churches or businesses, or there's still an industry. It's called the faith industry, right? Everything now in the spiritual industry as well, because again there's also spiritual capitalism as well. I remember that none of these things are bad or good, right? And but remember that everything's polarized. You will find people in these industries, in these Illuminati industries, that are low frequency, and some that are not low frequency. Not every single person in these groups are all the same. It's impossible because we have polarity. However, the ones that control the industries, the music and the sports industries, and manipulating artists, or feeding from low frequency separatism, right? Fear, and they feed on you being desperate to be famous, you being desperate to be known as a celebrity. You understand? That happened to, as I said, quite a few artists that were actually tricked by them, and sometimes they've come to you at a young age, like Britney Spears. At a young age, oh, you got a good talent, you're a good actor, come, I love your music, oh, you can dance, come. Disney is a major platform where all these guys all start, at Disney, okay? Major platform. So that's where they all start, somewhere. And then they grow them. As they can see, their willingness to become more and more famous, and willingness to do anything, willingness to put step aside from their morality and move their morality one side to be famous. They're zoned to be famous. They will sacrifice everything to be famous. And now they see the social media influencers too will sacrifice everything for them to have subscribers or followers. You understand? Now they have another pool to feed from, because it's all about the influence. When you influence, you can affect people's minds and consciousness. Now, remember that it used to be only artists, musicians, actors that were actually influencers. Now that we have social media, people like myself, ordinary people that have social media, as my platform grows, I become a more of an influencer, because then people are coming into my content, and I can now portray information that influences those people, right? But my focus is to uplift people, not to gaslight people, not to manipulate people, but to uplift people. My channel is about spirituality and self-awareness, developing who you are, understanding that we are in the system, and the system's called the matrix. Within the system, there's systems that are contributing to the matrix. And it's neither bad or good. It's not bad or isn't it good. It's just what it is. It's a game. We have to play a game. It's a system when we are the players in the game, right? You decide where your focus is going to go, where your focus goes, and where your energy flows. You decide. Nobody's holding a gun to your head. You're not a victim here of the matrix. You're not a victim of these corporations. You decide where you want to go, and know yourself, and live with empowerment. Live with empowerment and be the creator that you're born to be. You came here to create. So create your life you want to create consciously. Don't be an unconscious creator. Right? Remember that the matrix, as I said, I repeat before I go, is divided into two energies. Low frequency, which is all about separatism, control, fear, lack, and basically hustle, force, resisting. You're resisting life flow. Because low frequency, you're resisting the abundance. You're saying there's no abundance. You truly believe there's no abundance, okay? You believe there's scarcity, so you're willing to kill any person, give up anything, any person, for you to get what you want. Because you're living in lack in your mind. There's not enough of wealth and abundance. You need to sacrifice somebody else to get what you want. That's now where a lot of the Illuminati people are sitting, because they're abusing people, right? In the name of them people giving their consent. Once you give their consent, by you as an artist signing a contract, right, and agreeing with those terms and conditions, and not owning your power, you give your consent to be used by the matrix. You as a consumer, you give your power away by you not questioning things that you consume and read, understand where it's coming from, right? You are now following all these authors, they're showing all these signs, the pyramid, the eye of Horus and all those things. You follow those artists, you listen to their music, and you sing upon their music, and now you're giving consent for your energies to be used by that artist to get more money and wealth, and that corporations to get more commodities sold. That's how it works. It's a whole big chain, right? So we at the bottom, we then connect to ourselves to a certain chain. That chain is linked to something. You must be aware of what you're linking yourself to always, guys. Okay. Again, I repeat myself. It's not about fear. It's nothing to be afraid of, because when you live in abundance and live in oneness and wellness, you cannot be fearful of them of the Illuminati, because Illuminati is depending on your energy, on our energies, for it to be Illuminati. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's only institutions, as I said, created and established by a guy called Adam. I can't pronounce his surname. Some guy from Bulgaria in 1776. Adam, his surname is Weishaupt. Go and Google it, right? In 1776, the whole idea of Illuminati was established by this person called Adam, right? It was all about science, freedom from religion and political oppression. It was coming from there. So he created this group of people that came together and they discussed business. They discussed ideologies that were about freedom, about creation, and about political oppression. How we can free ourselves from political oppression and religious oppression. That's where it came from, right? But it was later abandoned. They abandoned institution, his Illuminati group in Bulgaria. Okay. However, the concept continued growing through the ages till now. It's just a concept, but now we know it's more than just one organization. There's now many types of organizations, right, with different members, all depending on the land bases. You have like in Africa, you have a number of them here in Africa, you have a number of them in America, and you have a number of them in Europe, a number of them also in the East, in the Arab countries, right, guys? That's how it works. Even in that side, oceanic countries, there's a number of them there as well. They're all over the world. They're all just corporations coming together with one intention: to sell their goods, to control and stay as wealthy as possible and keep the money flowing in their bloodlines. They never get poor. They never lose their money. You understand? Their children's children keep on inheriting. Right now, here you are, come from a normal bloodline, not belonging to the corporation bloodline, and now you become a consumer. They reap your energy, your money, your focus, right? And they reap it. So you have the right on where you put your money and where you put your focus. You have the right on what you're consuming. They're not forcing you. But however, if you're living unconsciously, then you become like forced, because you don't know what you want, you don't know where you go, you don't know who you are. Right now, you're kind of just drifting through. They're depending on people that are drifters. So people need to wake up now. There's a lot of social media influencers trying to wake people up to the reality. We are not spreading conspiracies here. We are talking about what's really happening. Happiness, how you love you, how you doing. No, she's not South Africa. She's not South African from the accent. I'm not. What am I then? I am from South Africa. And my accent does not sound South African. I am love. I'm from Durban. You can even see me on my go to my link. Go to my website. My life story, what I do is on my website, consultingsicien.com. Then you can see I'm really from South Africa. Right? I got a website, so I got a coaching business as well, right? So I'll go to my website and you can check all the things that I offer: tarot readings and spiritual coaching and life coaching and stuff like that I offer. Okay, so you can go ahead and check me out there as well. Okay, then you can see I'm really am South Africa. I'm from Durban, based in Durban. You understand? Yeah. But anyway, guys, I'm about to now close my life. Thank you for your attention and your energy that's positive. Fanny, wishing you all the best for this week. Sweetie Pie, thank you for your support. Thank you for the questions and your comments. I really appreciate you so much. I thank you for subscribing to my channel. Right? And if you want to know anything else about spirituality, whatever, please let me know. Send me a message, okay? I will be posting the pieces of this live, right? Probably Monday, Tuesday, I will post. As you can go into all my videos, you can see that I always post their shows from my lives. Okay. So have a great day further, guys, a great weekend. I will be on my live again tomorrow. Okay, because I need to actually do more lives, right? So I normally do on Saturday and Sunday when that's my free time that I have, right? I don't do during the week because I'm very busy, work and stuff like that, other commitments in my own life that I'm also working on. Because remember that we all creators. You speak Afrikaans, I think? Not really. But I did very well in Afrikaans. My mother's mother was actually Afrikaans. The Namas. I'm a mixture of different cultures. That's why there's this mix, right? There's a mixture of different cultures. I'm Irish from the western side. I'm also on the other side. I'm also from the Nama. Nama coming from a mixed in relationship there. I think it was also Afrikaans. It was Afrikaans person who actually had a child with my great grandmother. You understand? So that's how where it's all coming from. Maybe that's where that Afrikaans thing is coming from. So I'm just a mixture of different cultures. That's how my accent sometimes sounds like I could be speaking Afrikaans. Although I'm very good with speaking Afrikaans. I speak better in Afrikaans than in English. I think yeah. But anyway, it is what it is, right? We all like have interesting type of family backgrounds. Thank you so much. I'm not far from you. Oh, you in Stanger. Oh, nice that you're living in Stanger, Fanny. I love you so much. Thank you for supporting me. So you always here in most of my lives. You here. Thank you so much. Happy you are beautiful. You're just as beautiful, Fanny. Thank you so much. You're just as beautiful. I have not met you, but I know your energy. You're just as beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah. Guys, let me go. Have a great weekend further. I will be on my live again tomorrow. Please go ahead, guys, and subscribe to my channel, Happiness, if you have not as yet. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can see more of my content. Go and binge view my videos as well. Okay. I got short view of videos and I got longer videos as long as 1 hour and a few minutes. Okay. It depends on you. Okay. Have a great Saturday further, great weekend. If I don't get to see you tomorrow, I will be on my live again tomorrow around the same time, ish around 10-11, okay? Have a great Saturday further, guys. And remember that you are loved, that you have the power, that you are a creator, not just a consumer. You are a creator. Where your focus goes, your energy will flow. Remember that. Where your focus goes, your energy shall flow. Okay? Guys, have a great day further, guys. Bye.